No, season 8 doesn't stick the landing. I was ready for it.
You were. I did not chew as much as I thought I had during that break.
No, you did not. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Spot News. As Jack is feasting on Lunchables that were just gifted to him moments before we started. He's Jack with a mouthful of Lunchable, and I'm Frank with no Lunchable. Kind of jealous, actually.
I'll go puff you one next week.
That's please, let's not talk about GoPuff.
I thought that would be nice. I didn't want to advertise non-Philly based companies, so I didn't want to say DoorDash.
That's good. Ooh, that's a good move by you. I have these papers that I have here from old shows that I just every so often I tap them on the desk like a newspaper man.
Nice. Look, GoPuff was started by 2 college kids in Philly.
Yeah, I know. You know where their corporate office is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finnegan's Wake.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wild. It didn't used to be. It used to be an apartment.
Yep.
In South Philly. It was great.
It was. Hey, tea.
It was a lovely tea party that they had going on there. And now we have a tea party here.
Oh, what a lovely tea party we have.
But thanks for finding the Geek Spot.
You missed the best opening ever.
Like Frank said, we are here to talk about all those things, and like our cold open kind of hit, we are still so far into the office and still so far from the end of the office.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Plenty of other exciting news happened this week. All sorts of stuff from the man with the hat in charge of Marvel. I read some stuff. I watched some stuff. Frank did some things.
Yeah. Wait, we're lost? What a great show.
Leaving Netflix, so get your rewatches in. Unless you're like Frank and own it on
I don't own it.
TV something?
No, I don't own it.
Slacker.
Hey.
So how was your week, man? Was it hockey infused, or was there other activities?
We're on the low end of the hockey spectrum at the moment. We're just down to Thursday nights now. And I missed last Thursday because what did I do last Thursday? I had something to do. Oh, it was like 900 degrees with humidity, and I could barely breathe when I was walking from my car to the house because I'm fat. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to hockey tonight.
I will agree it was toasty last Thursday.
Yeah, it was warm. It was really warm. Yeah, other than that, the new Destiny content dropped on Tuesday last week. Or was it Friday? Tuesday last week. So I just kind of like dug into the story of that, like, tried to get the story done, and then they had their world's first raid contest was this weekend that I did not partake in. It looked like it was going to be a nightmare, and it was. Not to bore you with Destiny talk, but the story was fantastic. They tied it back to the 1960s. Which was really cool. 2 of the characters.
The 1960s Destiny game?
No, the 1960s. 2 of the main characters ended up coming straight out of the same fictitious government department back in the 60s. One character that's been in the game since the beginning, and one that just kind of joined. So it's actually really, they tied it in really well. But that's been the last week. This week I have a Thursday night game again. All the hockey picks up at the end of August, all the teams. But I also have a Fantastic Four showing that I may skip because I'm going Saturday with my son, and I don't want to skip it, but I do because I know the spoilers are going to it's going to run wild.
The fact that they aren't out yet since they already lifted the embargo is blowing my mind.
I am doing everything, every dodge, every limbo, every dance move I know to avoid any spoilers, and what we're going to talk about in a little bit with the big Kevin Feige interview. Luckily, there's no spoilers there.
Sweet.
There's no Blade there either. Anyway.
I was thinking about it, though.
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
What about you? You have way more going on than I do.
No. I had some gigs local. Last Thursday when you were dodging the heat from hockey, I was out playing an outdoor gig at the Philly Zoo for a sip and stroll. That was lovely. Lots of little kids, so we got to play the Pink Pony Club and all the things.
So I haven't seen a movie in ScreenX.
Yeah, there's a ScreenX theater not too far from us. There's a 40X and a ScreenX both in the same spot, but
where's that at?
Warrington.
Oh, nice.
But I haven't been to either one because I'm like, I want to pick the right movie, and I just never been
Superman
to go to the right movie. Well, that's not the right movie for me to see again. What did I do that? Yeah, I had a full band gig, another acoustic gig.
Right here, like local. Like I could have gone to either one of those.
Yeah. I tried for you. I said, hey, how close can I get to Frank's house without actually being in Philly? And Frank said, not close enough.
I talked to Matt about it. Matt went to a birthday party, and as Matt put it, tried to pick up some talent, and then pulled a calf muscle, and is now limping around.
It happens. I'm close again in a few weeks, so we'll get there because this week is show week for the boys. So I'm wrapped up in SpongeBob and his SquarePants for the week.
Nice. I definitely will get to see you the next time you're out.
Sweet. So yeah, that was that. I went and saw a movie that I'll talk about in a bit. Not super on brand, but took the kid out to something. Read some comics about some of the movies that have come out and are coming out, so that I had a better idea of what they might do story wise.
I have not.
And all those things. So, are we listing to start?
No, because there's a lot. There's so much. There's a big James Gunn interview I want to talk about, and a bigger Kevin Feige interview that I want to dig into. But you in the office probably will take up the next 400 hours, right?
Well, let's not take that long with it. Why don't we hit the Emmys first on our way there?
Oh, crap. I didn't even pull that up.
And we'll list the Emmys noms because the stuff in this space that we talk about, there's actually quite a few of them nominated.
Now I got to go and look at
this
list.
year. So for Best Drama Series, well, we're not going to go through all these things, right? But we got Andor, The Diplomat, Last of Us, somehow, Paradise, The Pit, Severance, Slow Horses, and The White Lotus. That's
a packed field.
That is a rough field for anybody to try and win in. I think it goes to either Severance is going to get snubbed the entire Emmys, or it's going to win everything. It's nominated for like 27 Emmys, which is wild because this season was nowhere near as good as the first season.
Now, did Paradise have the viewership wide? I know we loved it. We really enjoyed it. And I know I recommended it.
It had a second season, which a lot of shows don't get. So
they have a 3-season plan, and that's it for this show. So they have a 3-season arc.
Yeah, well, luckily it's the guy that did This Is Us.
Okay,
he's the showrunner. So that buys you at least 3 seasons having him in charge.
That's good.
So they're probably safe with that. So out of those, I think it should be honestly probably Paradise. I've not watched Slow Horses yet.
I haven't watched The Pit. That's the medical one, I think, right?
It might be The Pit. Yeah, that's the one that's like was an ER spinoff that they could not get the rights to the ER from. So it's just Noah Wyle in a show that is not an ER spinoff. So do you think The Pit?
I mean, if it's not Severance, I think it might be The Pit because I see The Pit advertised everywhere. People love The Pit. I would like to see. Look, I know Andor is not going to win because they're not going to do that. If it's not going to be that, I would like to see Paradise win personally, just because I thought that show was so fantastic.
Yeah, I would like it to be Paradise. I think Severance is going to sweep stuff this year.
Well, maybe.
But you did not partake in the Severance. So
I didn't. I will at some point, but no, because as T said, he started to watch Strange New Worlds. Oh wait, I thought he meant Stranger Things. No, Strange New Worlds. T, I'll dip into that without spoiling. When we're done.
Stranger Things keeps dropping trailers and nobody cares. So best comedy series: Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking, The Studio, and What We Do in the Shadows.
The Bear usually wins these, right? At the last couple?
Not for series.
No.
Jeremy Allen White wins. It's and the show has like no comedy in it, which is still wild that it's nominated for comedy series. Abbott Elementary usually does well in this category. Actually, Hacks, Gene Smart's won 2 years in a row, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
I would love to see Shrinking win. The Studio, I keep forgetting to go back to it, and it's not that it's a forgettable show. It's funny, but it's not like I have to sit and binge watch this like Shrinking. I couldn't get enough of Shrinking.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the people that vote on this are the people that are in the industry. Like this, and the Studio seems to be an industry and critical darling.
Yeah.
So I think the Studio is going to take that. I think it's
a great cast.
Yeah. Was that Apple or HBO? I think that was Apple, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Apple.
I think Apple might be Apple's year. So who are you going with there in the comedy one, Frank?
Dude, this is
we're gonna revisit these in a couple weeks.
It's got Seth Rogen, Ike Barinholtz, Catherine Hahn, and then the list of guest stars is just.
Oh, we'll hit that when we get to guest stars, because Scorsese's up for an Emmy for the Studio.
Or that, yeah. Oh, he's great. Who do I think wins comedy series? I'm gonna lean and say Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
Kind of outside.
You're gonna go old school with the Abbott.
I want Shrinking to win, but I think Abbott Elementary.
All right. Then let's see. Series wise, let's hit the best limited or anthology series.
Yeah.
I did not watch. I only watched one of these.
Same.
I think most of them have been on in my house.
Yeah.
But I only watched the one. So Adolescence, Black Mirror, Dying for Sex, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, and The Penguin.
I mean, the only one I saw was The Penguin, so I'm gonna have to go with that.
Yeah, I think if Adolescence is what I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
If it's that Netflix show, I think it might be that.
Adolescence.
Yes, it is. So that show was shot. Every episode was shot as a single shot.
Oh,
the way they did it.
Yeah. Is that the one you can watch out of order, or was that a different show?
That's Black Mirror.
Okay.
Maybe you can with Adolescence, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I bet that one is the one that wins it. Because I don't think the Penguin Penguin could get the love. I mean, look, he won a Golden Globe, but I feel like it's too far removed at this point.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? You thinking Penguin?
I'm thinking Penguin because it's really the only one I know. So at least the others I saw a couple of them, so I can kind of.
I'll take that for you. All right. All right. Let's see. Don't care about TV movie.
Nope.
Reality comp. Don't care. Talk series.
Nope.
Down to 3. Speaking of that, rest in peace.
Yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away at 54 years old. He drowned in a swimming pool.
I can't. He drowned on vacation.
I thought it was in a pool though.
I've heard rip current. I've heard pool. I've heard a lot of things, but it was on vacation with the family.
That's horrible. That's just awful.
It is. Also, speaking of rest in peace, on a less tragic note, because nobody actually passed away, but the Colbert Show.
Yeah.
The Late Show is no more as of May next year.
You think they would? Do you think they give it an Emmy this year? Just because?
Given the late notice, because the Daily Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live or Colbert, Daily Show brought back Jon Stewart, who is it's tearing it up on that show.
For now,
but it's sad that there's only 3 talk shows left.
Yep.
And there will soon be 2, and Jimmy Fallon's never going to be nominated for anything.
Okay, I was going to say Fallon's there, but
but it's all fluff.
Yeah.
And best scripted variety series. Saturday Night Live Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and that's it. Only because they moved Last Week Tonight out of Best Talk Series because he swept for the last 6 years straight.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel's has had guest hosts. I'm guessing he's on vacation, so he's had guest hosts. And last week he had Jelly Roll as the host because Jelly Roll is involved in a WWE angle where he is wrestling a tag team with Randy Orton at SummerSlam against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. So he had Randy Orton on and they were talking, and then Drew McIntyre came out and him and Randy went and fought, and Logan Paul came out the other way, and Logan Paul started talking crap on Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll slapped him in the chest, picked him up, and chokeslammed him through the desk.
Wow.
Wonderful little angle. Yeah, it's fun.
It's wild.
Yeah.
All right, back to the exciting Emmy stuff.
Yes.
So best actor, we got Sterling K. Brown for Paradise, Gary Oldman for Slow Horses, Pedro Pascal for Last of Us, Adam Scott for Severance, and Noah Wyle for The Pit.
I am going to go Noah Wyle.
Okay. You're going all in on The Pit.
I'm going all in on The Pit. Again, I've seen a lot of it. I'm not the biggest into medical dramas, but this one is kind of on my radar a little bit. Even though Sterling K. Brown was fantastic in Paradise.
I'm going to stick with my Severance one and go Adam Scott.
I can see that sweeping.
Yeah, it could. We'll see. Best Actress, Kathy Bates for Matlock. Sharon Horgan for Bad Sisters, Britt Lauer for Severance, Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us, and Kerry Russell for The Diplomat.
Well, I'm going to go Kathy Bates.
I agree. We do agree on one here.
Yeah. I'm going to go Kathy Bates.
You're going with Kathy Bates for that one. All right. That's I think she's the oldest actress nominated for lead. And it's her first one ever for a lead actor, or oldest ever for a lead actress. So
oh wow.
And I've heard she does great work on there, so I'm hoping for it. Look for best supporting actor. It's gonna go. Thanks everybody for the Ace raid. Thank you, Ace, as always, for sending the love our way.
Thank you.
Thank you
For those that are subscribing. Yes.
So best supporting actor, we got Zach Cherry from Severance. We got Tramel Tillman from Severance. We have John Turturro from Severance. We have Walton Goggins from White Lotus, Jason Isaacs from White Lotus, and James Marsden from Paradise.
Look, I'm just going to go out on a limb and throw it at James Marsden.
Yeah, that's fair for you. Look,
there's so much.
And Sam Rockwell from White Lotus. Who I would not count as a supporting actor in that. I would count him as a guest spot more than anything.
Do you think the Severance and White Lotus will just cancel each other out?
I think Tramel Tillman, because he is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Which one was he? I watched an episode, so is he in the first episode?
I don't know that you would have seen him in the first episode.
Okay, never mind. Thank you, Dom, for getting us to 100 subs. We love you.
So you're going James Marsden. Look, James Marsden was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think has been missing out.
Look, the 80s music still sells me because that's me. That would be me. The 80s music, and then the 80s remixes of some of those songs were just fantastic.
All right. Supporting actress, we got.
In a drama?
We'll still do drama here. Yeah. Because I'm not worried about the limited anthology because we didn't see enough of them to make it.
That's fair.
Supporting actress in a drama, right? We got Patricia Arquette from Severance. That's it. Carrie Coon from White Lotus, Natasha Rothwell from White Lotus, Amy Lou Wood from The White Lotus, Parker Posey from The White Lotus,
Jesus,
Catherine Lanassa from The Pit, and Julianne Nicholson for Paradise.
As much as I loved Julianne Nicholson's character in Paradise, I can't see somebody from Severance not winning this.
I don't think Arquette gets it. I think it's going to be somebody from White Lotus for sure. I think it's Carrie.
There's 17 people from White Lotus nominated.
Yeah. There's which as you said before might get canceled out. It might be the chick from The Pit. I don't know.
Oh, I missed The Pit there. Okay.
But I'm
gonna stick with The Pit. I'm sticking with my. Okay. I'm gonna stay pit sweeping.
For that last one, I think some of those, to call Walter Goggins and Jason Isaacs from White Lotus this last season supporting actors is wild to me. Because they were as much the star of White Lotus as anybody else, and there was no lead actor.
When are the Emmys?
You should check that while I keep going through the list.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's go. Let's skip ahead here because I don't want to get bogged down with this all night. Where we got best guest actor. Well, this is an interesting one because this actually we've seen most of these. So Giancarlo Esposito for The Boys.
We have weeks. This is September 14th.
Yeah. I know, but they just dropped, so nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
Scott Glenn for White Lotus, who was brilliant. Sean Haytosi for The Pit. Joe Pantoliano for The Last of Us. Forrest Whitaker for Andor, or Jeffrey Wright for The Last of Us.
All right, so I did not make it to Pantoliano's scene, so he's out. I didn't make it that far. You said from who? What was the first one?
Giancarlo Esposito from The Boys.
Yep.
You're going him, huh? All right.
I'm going him, and he wasn't even in it that much, but I'm going him. Just because, again, I saw it. I'm going to deviate from The Pit here.
I'm going to go... Oh, that was a tough one. A lot of these were really good. The Last of Us, I don't think wins anything this year. But I'm going to go with Scott Glenn.
Okay.
He was great in the role that they had him in. And I've missed, you don't realize how much you missed seeing that guy because he's brilliant. Stan Edgar does seem ages ago, but in the last season of The Boys, he showed up for an episode.
Right.
That was already a year and a half ago. Only a year and a half ago, I think.
And it's coming this year?
Next year. Gen V comes in like a month.
That's right.
There's a lot coming this week. Besides Fantastic Four, there's a lot. Happy Gilmore 2's out this week.
Yeah. So
Second half of Sandman drops. So best actress in a drama. Jane Alexander for Severance. God damn it. Gwendolyn Christie for Severance. Merritt Weaver for Severance. Caitlin Dever for The Last of Us, because she was a guest actress as the lead.
She's not the lead from next season.
Catherine O'Hara for The Last of Us. I don't know that she counts as a guest actress. She was in it more than Pedro Pascal, who was the lead actor. Interesting. And Cherry Jones for The Handmaid's Tale.
You know what? I'm going to go Gwendolyn Christie just because I like her.
Look, she was great. I don't know that I have anybody to go for in this race because I don't know who any of these actresses are.
Well, you know who Caitlin Dever is.
Yeah. I'm not going to go her. I mean, she was in literally 3 minutes of Last of Us. I guess that one episode she was in a bit. I'm going to go Jane Alexander. I don't even know who that is. Gwendolyn is Brienne of Tarth, yes.
Yeah.
Her scene in Severance was great.
Jane Alexander is 85 years old.
Great. I'm going with her.
She was in Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
That's the first movie that I recognize. And Testament.
Oh, she was great. She plays Patricia Arquette's aunt in an episode, and she was fantastic. All right, we'll hit the comedy series stuff, and then we'll hop.
She was in a lot.
Best actress in a comedy series, and you here you go. You've seen at least one of these. Uzu Aduba in The Residence. Kristen Bell in Nobody Wants This. Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. Io Adibiri for The Bear. And Jean Smart for Hacks.
I've seen none of these, so I'm going to go at Abbott Elementary.
You watched The Residence. You talked about it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, she's going to win. Oh, my God. I forgot. I never finished it. I totally forgot, and I never finished it. Yeah, no, she's absolutely wins. She was, oh, my God, she was great. Yeah. Holy crap. I'm going to change some of my answers next time we do this.
I love it.
Shit.
I'm going to go with Jean Smart because
yeah,
I think she's brilliant on that.
I don't know. Uzo was sensational in The Residence, and I don't use that word enough.
It's amazing. Best actor. Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This. He's great in that. Kristen Bell's great in that show too. Seth Rogen for The Studio, Jason Segel for Shrinking, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, or Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
I gotta go Jason Segel. He just put that, aside from Harrison Ford, he put that show on his back.
Agreed.
I just hope he gets recognized for it. Because he carried Ted for so long.
I'm gonna bet that they recognize Rogen.
Fair.
Which the studio's it's still sitting there on Apple. I started Smoke instead. It's weird. All right, supporting actor. Nope, don't care. We're
What,
not
in a
going to hit
comedy
that.
series?
Yeah, it's fine.
All
We
right.
don't watch most of these.
No.
I mean, Harrison Ford's on there and Michael Urie's on there from stuff that we watch, and Eben Moss Bacharach. But
I'm gonna go Harrison Ford.
okay. Best supporting actress in a comedy series: The Bear, Hacks, Studio, Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Shrinking.
Jessica Williams. She's
Okay,
great
there
in
you go.
that.
So you're going Shrinking.
I'm going Shrinking for those.
Got
That's
it.
easy.
I don't think they won a single thing for their first season.
It's
The
awful.
studio is literally all of the best guest actor.
Yep.
Cranston, Dave Franco, Ron Howard, Anthony Mackie, and Martin Scorsese.
Ron Howard, the episode I saw at Ron Howard was really, really good.
And then John Bernthal for The Bear, because he's a guest actor every season.
I can't wait to talk about him in a little bit.
I feel like that's broken. All right. I think those are all the ones.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into individual episodes, which is how like best writing and best
No.
all of
Because
that
you've got a
stuff's
lot
done
of
before.
individual episodes to talk about still.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn through a lot of them because they suck.
Fire away.
Hold on. Where are we at?
I believe you ended on Gettysburg.
No. I
Oh.
meant. So for anybody listening, if you're not sure what we talked about when, go look at the description, and hopefully, I think that translates over to YouTube too. I'm nice enough that I put in what we talk about when.
It might. I haven't looked. I really should.
On there so that you can skip around if there's spoilers that we talk about somewhere that you don't want to hear about, or let's say you're listening back and your name's Dom and you don't want to hear about The Office. You can have that option. So all right, so first episode of Mrs. California.
Awful.
There's nothing good in this episode.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
It's just the whole show at this point is just retreading storylines with Michael, but shoving Andy into the situation and having him handle it like a different character every week.
Yeah, no, Mrs. California is one that I skip anytime, or I just don't pay attention.
Look, I love Maura Tierney.
So do I, but not in this.
But she was completely wasted. I'm assuming she comes back, but maybe not. They set it up for her to come back, but that's because Andy needs a 17 person.
Yeah.
Love triangle, or whatever we want to call it. I don't even know how many you get to.
I'll just tell you straight out. She does not.
Yeah, that's a shame.
No.
Yeah. So, and weird with Robert trying to make her want to not get the job, but Andy's too dumb to understand. But Andy's not dumb. That's the problem. Like Michael, they stuck with that through line all the way through from being an idiot.
Have you noticed Andy's character kind of changing since he took over as manager?
Yeah, they're making him Michael.
Right. Now, because now don't worry, it'll change again.
Great. Can't wait. Because, they've been dumbing him down. And then I'm guessing that Pam in real life had her baby somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Because then Jim rolls back in that Pam had the kid. But this time we didn't do all that on the show.
No.
Then we get Christmas Time, which you seem to really enjoy.
Ed Helms directed it. Mindy Kaling wrote it. The only thing I liked was the back and forth pranks. That's really the only part of this episode that I really liked.
Which this one was weird. So the opening credits, one of those short snipped ones again, I guess, for more content in the show. We get the holiday wishes from Andy as Santa to start. Stanley loses his mind in their meeting about what holiday wishes.
That was pretty funny too. It
was great. And then
Lewis
Jim goes,
Black?
"Oh, I shouldn't have bought him Lewis Black tickets." I was like, "Okay, well that dates that joke."
Oh yeah, 2011.
So and then Robert's still there, which is weird because in a couple episodes we go with the timeline of when Robert and Gabe work out of PA versus Florida.
Yeah,
and
they go back and forth.
Yeah, but no, they give the days of the week, so it makes most of this not make any sense anymore.
No,
which is great.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, so Kathy wants to move desks because she doesn't like Jim and Dwight bickering all the time. And then Andy gives them that if they prank him, he's going to lose their bonus. Daryl's trying to get with Val, which I'm guessing continues through this whole season based on the other stuff that I've seen so far, getting through the episodes. And then Robert, the CEO, decides to get everybody hammered at the party, which I don't even think was still cool in 2012 when this was happening.
Yeah, it's fine.
But like at the office in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Everybody gets hammered. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. He's a CEO. He can do what he wants.
Sure.
It's not like he was in a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, look, I'm excited about the Chad Flenderman books that Toby's writing now.
It's a good
About
series.
the black man who went to Oxford, which Toby thinks is weird. I don't know why he thinks it's weird.
I don't know.
And is also the world's leading Egyptologist.
Yes.
So I'm excited to hopefully hear more about Chad Flenderman at some point. Maybe in the paper we'll hear about Chad Flenderman.
Maybe
he plays Chad Flenderman and makes a guest appearance.
Great.
And we get Aaron just being an absolute disaster.
Yep.
And then a weird montage to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra of everybody exchanging gifts. This episode is just all over the place.
It is.
As most of this season has been.
Mm-hmm.
And then Meredith wants Andy to drive her home because that's her wish.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And then he follows Robert and Aaron, who takes Aaron not to where Aaron lives.
Yeah.
But he knows where Aaron lives. And he didn't realize that they were going to Aaron's house when it was described in the GPS. And it was like a really upscale neighborhood with this. It like sounded like Robert's place, but then they twisted it by the time we got to there. So I feel like that was a bad edit.
Maybe.
Because Aaron didn't live in a super nice townhome.
No.
She lived with her brother.
Well,
she was banging.
Stepbrother.
Yep.
Her
Yep.
foster.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
But overall, I actually thought this episode all in was one of the better ones of the season. Even though it still wasn't great. All in. Except for when Aaron being hammered goes and sticks Kelly on Jessica.
Yeah.
Was funny. Like there's some of those little things in there that was actually kind of funny.
There were moments. The porcupine was funny.
Yeah. In the in the drawer with the yes. Where Dwight keeps trying to make it look like Jim pranked him.
Right.
Yeah. So then we get trivia, which was another weird this felt like a complete throwaway episode. Except for we get the cold open where they're trying to see who can be the quietest longest. And then Kevin can't help it, but every time he takes a bite of a candy bar, he has to say, "Oh yeah." So that was something. And now, I guess we're in a different quarter. I would assume because time passes, but now they're still trying to double their numbers from the quarter, which was the challenge 7 episodes ago.
Yeah, I don't know the time,
but they need $830, which if any of them were moderately good salespersons, that's one phone call.
Yeah, this way we get to go to Philly for trivia night.
Yeah, instead of just hitting the phones to make $830, they all leave the office
early,
3 hours early, to make the drive to Philly.
The whole company, the
entire office. Yeah.
Yes.
And Dwight is not there because Dwight's in Florida trying to get a manager job. But Robert blows him off and sends him to the CEO, who then he sends him to Gabe. But that's where we get the because Gabe is the toilet. But so Gabe does Tuesday and Thursday in Scranton.
Don't forget the Toyota ladies, the secretary.
Oh, Jan, I know. I had that notice. Actually, I had my notes on that is I loved the secretary in it, who I thought was Lindsay Braun, but then I realized that's actually Kathy.
Yep.
And then then I thought it was Lawrence DeMille from Burn Notice and many other shows. But it's neither of them. It was Jan from Toyota.
Yep.
Laurel Kopic, who has been in a lot of things, but mostly Jan from Toyota.
Right.
So Gabe is Tuesday, Thursday in Scranton, and the other 3 days in Florida, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But that's fine. So I would assume Robert is similar.
It's supposed to be stupid.
But they're also leaving the office for trivia while Robert is showing up to work for the day in Florida.
Right.
Yeah, sure. And then leaves. They try to make the fun part about it being a gay bar, so you get all that. Whatever. That was not one of the big ones in Philly, from what I understand.
No.
Ryan quits the team because he can't give up his phone, which seems a little early to be obsessed with your phone. Because the internet was barely working back then. It was okay, but not great.
Yeah, it was 2012.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were on Android, like gingerbread, maybe. What else? Kevin's team is all of a sudden smart for that 1 minute.
Yeah.
Robert gives Dwight a medal.
Yeah,
out of
that
his
was weird.
condo in Florida's drawer that was his grandfather. I'm like, okay, so you just gave him a Cracker Jack toy and told him it was this. Yeah, nothing great. Like I said, not sure how. I wasn't sure how it all tied back to hitting the sales number, but then I had to go and rewind and be like, oh, that's because they were going to win $1,000 in the trivia thing to buy paper with. So they're trusting the two secretaries and Kevin and Angela to give the $1,000 to buy paper for the office.
Yep.
Right. Good. Then we get pool party, which is just super creepy, like the whole episode.
Little weird.
Yeah. So, reason I'm hitting so many episodes, anybody that's not aware of why. So I had been slow rolling this show for a while, but then the paper drops September 4th. So I'm looking to finish The Office before the paper comes out.
Whew.
So I'm on a mission. So, yeah, pool party, super weird. Andy's going to propose to Jessica, keeps losing the ring. Nothing great. Robert never decided to have a pool party, even though he seems like a very over-the-top wild guy who was also not long ago applying for a manager job at an office, but owns a multi-million-dollar mansion.
Yep.
That he's apparently owned for a while.
Yep.
But while he owned that, he was applying to be a manager of a small office that sells paper.
Yeah, no, maybe he just was bored with his big multi-billion-dollar job.
Sure. Weird. Yeah, a lot of Aaron trying to hit on Dwight to get Andy's thing, and Dwight buys in and plays along, which is weird because that's not something Dwight would normally do.
He's evolving.
Yeah, and then Jim keeps trying to get out, takes out the mailbox on his way out. Like I said, not great. Then we get jury duty, which was a complete waste of an episode.
It was.
Jim just lies about going to jury duty because he's a dick, and instead he spent a week at home because he's a dick. Instead of just taking vacation days, he wanted to get out of it and not burn any vacation because he's a dick. So you get that. Then you get Angela having her baby, who it seems that it is Dwight and not the Senators. I'm sure that storyline will keep going and going and going. So we get that. Dwight's trying to get Gabe to go rat out Jim, but then gets distracted by the fact that he's a dad now. Maybe. They bring Jim and Pam. Pam shows back up. Yay.
Woohoo.
To bring the kids in and try and get Cece to win the office back over from Jim lying to him. But not great. And then again, Dwight all of a sudden letting Jim off the hook because now Dwight's a dad and he gets it. Okay. Great. And we'll wrap these next two up into the same thing. So Dwight's assigned the special project. Pam's back. Valentine's Day is celebrated in the office. Angela's back 4 days after having her kid because she's better than Pam.
Yes.
I was like, oh, she didn't have a kid. It was adopted is probably where we're going with it. But who knows? Maybe we'll go there. Who knows? Anyway. So then, yeah, and then she brought brownies. Pam didn't have anything. So Pam was like, well, I have cash. And Jim stops her because Pam's also awful and trying to bribe people to be her friend. Dwight gets a promotion to run a special project team. So they say, hey, who better than all these people in this office with no retail experience to lead a special projects team to run rolling out a retail concept. So that was great. And Dwight wants Pam on this team because she's awful. Which brings me to the point that really makes no sense. Kathy was there to fill in for Pam, who Pam's back.
Right.
Kathy's still there.
Right.
Great. And you get Dwight and Andy going back and forth on who they're going to go with. Not great again. And then now instead of Andy original people, he said to take Phyllis, Daryl, Kathy, Kelly, and Kevin. Instead now, because it's all the people that are the featured players, instead it is Kathy, Stanley, Ryan, Aaron, and Jim. So Kathy can try and bang Jim in Florida.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Great. Can't wait. I'm sure that'll be exciting. And then we get to Tallahassee, and Catherine Tate's in charge of everything.
Yep.
Because Joe hired her, and Robert California has decided to keep her on, even though she was Joe's friend, which doesn't seem in character for Robert California at all.
Just wait.
Yep. Great.
It's better.
Can't wait. Yeah. So yeah, cold opens. Dwight going waking everybody up with Aaron's help, and Jim making it look like he was kidnapped and killed in the closet.
That was funny. It
was all right. And we're back to regular full length credits.
Yes.
Which full is weird. Credit. Stanley rents this super fancy thing. There's a good Loggins and Messina joke there. Where Jim is like, got it, Loggins and Messina. Or Stanley says, put on the Kenny Loggins, and Jim says, got it, Loggins and Messina. He says, did I say Messina?
You want Florida Stanley on your team.
Yeah, Florida Stanley's great. Dwight has appendicitis, which is the recurring joke, I guess.
Yeah, but Jim poisoned him.
Yeah, that he believes Jim poisoned him. Packer's there. Another Andy character building episode on his end where he's doing the reception job and Mrs. Aaron, yada, yada, yada.
He's really good at that job.
Because they've decided at this point in the show to just roll all of Michael's characteristics and all of Jim's characteristics from the first 6 seasons into Andy's character, which is really exhausting.
See, I totally agree. The fake Jim death is one of the top 3 cold opens. It was great.
And then I didn't watch anymore because I hated every minute of those 3 hours that I spent watching those.
That's all right. You'll get.
Yeah. Look, we'll get there.
The next handful are great.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
They're not.
They can't be worse.
No. Did you watch anything else that people might be interested in?
Maybe. I saw what did I watch? Hold on. Always Sunny's back.
Yes.
So I'm all caught up on Always Sunny. The first episode was all the deleted scenes from the Abbott Elementary episode.
Nice.
So they're like, so this is all this shit these guys got up to while and all of the Abbott Elementary cast gets to curse. Which is amazing.
That's awesome.
So they all get to do that. They're going through all these schemes that the gang was trying to run at the school while they were there. So that's great. The next couple episodes have been really good. There's one where they get addicted to peppers and just eating like micro-dosing jalapenos. But then they decide they want to be EMTs too.
Yeah.
And they get kicked out of class. So instead they go buy an old ambulance and then start answering calls.
Oh God.
While Dee and Charlie start a delivery business for like Grubhub.
Nice.
It's wild. It's super fun though. Yeah, so that's back. If in case anybody missed it, because they did not do great advertising it. I went and saw How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, how was that?
The live action one took the little girl. It was great.
I've seen a lot of positive stuff.
Cast is really good. Nick Frost trying to make sure he's in every franchise now. He's in it. Gerard Butler's in it. The kid that plays the lead looks just like the guy that was the partner on Covert Affairs, but I keep forgetting to look up and see if he's actually related to it or not. But the cast overall was great. The effects were delightful. Like it was really well done.
Oh, that's good.
Story was fine. The kid from who played Pyro in or Rusty in Deadpool 2 is in it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. All caught up on Stick. Finale's coming up, thank God.
Woohoo!
I don't have to watch that show anymore. Countdown's still good. Go watch Countdown with Jared. Not Jared Padalecki, the other one, Jensen Ackles. What the latest in the what I hear is the dad TV that Amazon keeps leaning into. Yeah, it's that. And then I started Smoke 2, which is Journey Smollett and Taron Egerton on Apple.
I like both of them.
It's weird.
Okay.
I'm like 2 episodes in, and they're like full hour-long episodes.
Oh.
So it's a lot. But it's like an arson. It's the Smokes, right? The title is like an arson He's an arson investigator.
Yeah.
And she's a detective that gets from the police that gets reassigned to his detail as punishment, and then we go from there.
Young Her was in the last 2 seasons of Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, and Birds of Prey. She was our Dina Lance in Birds of Prey. That was that. There were some trailers that dropped too that I think we both watched. Some Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, I can't wait.
With Johnny Cage.
It looks great.
Now, did you see the other one?
Yeah, the fake Johnny Cage movie looks great. The actual Mortal Kombat movie looks fun. I guess I have to finally watch the first one now.
I guess it's weird because this new one, like, there's a couple people from the last one,
Right.
but not really. I
It
don't
doesn't
feel
seem
where
like
it ties at all to the last Mortal
yeah.
Kombat we watched. I had to because crap, what's his name? Louis Tan isn't in this trailer at all,
Right.
and he was the star of the last one,
Yeah, I don't
and he's
know
on the
how that
credits for
works.
the new one.
I don't know how that works.
So I don't know if they think that and why can't I remember his name now?
Yeah, the first one didn't grab me.
Butcher, what's his name? What's the guy's name playing Johnny Cage? They seem to think that he
Carl
is like,
Urban.
yeah, I don't know why they think Carl Urban is a big time movie star that will actually draw people to this movie.
I don't know.
I get maybe to streaming with the boys and like the Star Trek stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
look, I hated Louis Tan's made up character too, but like I like Louis Tan and everything that he does because he legit does all of his own stunts and he's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I thought the first one was a good popcorn movie. I haven't rewatched it, but I might before this next one comes out just to try and remember. And Jax is back. Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl is back
Yep, I
in
saw
this
him.
one, which I don't know. I thought he got his arms ripped off and died in the first one, but you know,
No, he's got metal
um,
arms.
I can hit the comic stuff next week because that'll tie in later on. As I read All Star Superman and I read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Nice, very nice.
Just to get a gist for how that character plays in and how the storylines fit in. Because they kept saying the movie was based on All Star Superman. It's not like at all. The color palette maybe, but that's it.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Now I think you had stuff.
So I am not gonna. So T said he just started watching Strange New World, so I'm not gonna spoil anything, except to say that the show is just absolutely awesome. It's fantastic. One of the differences. So if you watch the Next Generation on the Enterprise, there's a bar. There's a whole lounge and a bar. In the original series, they don't really have that, and in this iteration of that timeline, and it makes sense. There's a full whole bar lounge area, like a full bar, and it's great. And they use it for scenes. These 2 episodes that they released, I don't know if they're doing 2 a week or 1 a week. It was just great. This cast is just, it nails the characters and takes a little bit of a twist on the characters and just makes them that much better. And that's all I can say without spoiling anything for T, who's just starting to watch it. I'm trying this new thing on this website is generate a summary of the story.
Oh God.
Right. So
well, that's a new thing in Chrome.
Yeah, this is an AI. This is an AI generation from this one story. Ted Lasso season 4 filming update. Season 4 has begun production with the first set photos revealing the return of key cast members, including Ted, Rebecca, Keeley, and Higgins in Kansas City. Actor Grant Feely is set to play Henry Lasso, suggesting Ted may bring his son back to Richmond with him, allowing him to balance work and family life. No word on if his wife's coming with him.
If they go back to Kansas City.
If they go back, well, they're starting in Kansas City. So it looks like the 3 of them go to Kansas City and they're going to start the season in Kansas City.
To recruit Ted.
To come back. Yeah. Anson Mount is absolutely the best Christopher Pike that they have ever cast in the role. T. He's so good.
He's also the best live action Black Bolt there's ever been.
Yeah, his lines were great. So they started filming Ted Lasso season 4. Outside of that, there's some James Gunn stuff that I want to touch on real fast. He did a nice little interview recently. A couple of takeaways from this little interview was Jor-El's message in Superman, 100% legit, not being changed, not being retconned. It is what it is. That's what you got.
Cool.
I know you and Dom were theorizing that they may change it.
Well, he says that right now.
Well, he's pretty good on his continuity. But I like the fact that that's the message. he finally kind of gave his background on the Henry Cavill situation and what happened. So, long story short, the day they signed their deal, him and Peter Safran, to become the heads of DC, another faction of DC made the announcement on the exact day that they signed their deals that Henry Cavill would be back as Superman. He said the timing was awful. So they sat down with Henry right away and they explained things to him and they talked to him. And he was a very nice man. The only thing that he wanted out of it was to make the announcement himself. It seemed like the reports of a power play to take over the DCU were correct. And that person is no longer involved in DC in any way, shape, or form. That would be Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
He addressed casting of Batman. He was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. It's about an hour long. Pretty good listen. He was asked about Bruce Wayne and asked about Reacher star Alan Ritchson. And he said, I'm a big fan of Alan Ritchson, both as an actor and as a guy. Let's just wait and see what happens. You think he might actually be considering casting him as Batman?
I think it's tough to say because I think you need to have, if you want to keep it comic accurate, which he seems to want to, you have to cast a Batman that is similar to Clark.
Superman, right? Yeah.
Right. So you have to see who is similar in size to David Cornsweet, which I don't know that Richardson's.
No, he's bigger, I think, than Cornsweet at the moment.
Let's see. Cornsweet's 6'4", Richardson is 6'3".
Okay, so he's taller.
He's 10 years older, which is where they want the storyline to be just about. So look, maybe if you slim down Alan Ritchson some, which I'm sure he wouldn't mind losing a little bit of mass.
Yeah, probably.
Because it can't be easy to maintain the size he has to maintain. He has slimmed down since the first season or two of Reacher a little bit. So look, you could. But him at 42, he wouldn't be in anything and have time till he's out of Reacher, I would assume.
Well, so as to that, right now, Batman is supposed to debut in The Brave and the Bold. The script's in the process of being written, as is the Wonder Woman script is in the process of being written, as is apparently a Teen Titans script is being developed. But he's sticking to this timeline of if the script's good, we'll move forward. If the script's not good, we won't move forward. And I think that's a smart move because the other company didn't do that, as we're about to learn.
Yeah, look, I think it's both though. You have to have people working the scripts and the right people working the scripts, right? But for these, because the image is so important and the look, like you can't just have a great script for Batman and be like, oh, whoever we plug in will work. Like, because who you put in will change how it gets written to a degree for the character, right? Like, because you couldn't put Robert Pattinson in the Michael Keaton movie.
No.
You know what I mean? So like,
you can't put Robert Pattinson in the Cornsweet movie,
right? And he was fantastic as Hawk. The way they played that character, I wish he had not been signed to Reacher for like another year, because that's why he left that show when he did. But Minka Kelly as Dove, the two of them were brilliant the way they played those characters. Titans is still one of the TV show, as well as the comic, is still one of my favorite properties.
So other stuff that he said, he said that right now he has about a 5-year plan that goes to 2032. Fantastic Four is a complete fresh start for the new phase. Fantastic
we're over
Four.
to Feige.
Yeah, we're over to Feige.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped from Gunn to Feige. I totally missed. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. To go backwards to Alan Ritchson. yes, I think that he would make a good. I think he could be the Bruce Wayne to this Superman if done right with the right script.
Agreed.
Now over to Feige.
There we go.
Feige said he has about a 5-year plan right now. This Fantastic Four movie does not connect back to anything prior done in the MCU at all. Right. This is where there's a line in the sand. This is new stuff going forward. He said that we produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019. But in the 6 years since Avengers Endgame concluded, we've had well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. He said that's too much, which we've all been saying too. If you include animation, it's 127 hours of content in half the time that they told the Infinity Saga. Right? And even times during the Infinity Saga, it some of those movies weren't great, but they all interconnected well. He continued and said, after Endgame, company entered into a period of experimentation and evolution of the kinds of movies it was making, leading to projects like Eternals and Shang-Chi and The Legend of Ten Rings. And he said he always thought if you take success and don't experiment with it and don't risk it, it's not worth it. We also ended up focusing on, because Disney Plus was expansion, and that led to more TV stuff. He said that they began over the last few years stem from an overabundance of supply, not a sudden drop in demand. He said, look at Superman, which, by the way, has grossed $407 million to date. I think, as a side note, if they had spaced Superman out a month and a half before Fantastic Four, you would get 500-600 million. I still think it's going to get 500 or 600 million, but Fantastic Four is going to take a huge chunk away from that right now.
Oh yeah.
He said that Bob Iger said the same thing, that the increase in volume spread Marvel too thin. And again, we've said that also. So starting in 2023, audience began to sour on Marvel's content on the big and small screen. 3 of the 22 films in the Infinity Saga grossed less than 500 million worldwide. Since the pandemic, 7 out of 13 movies failed to reach that milestone. Streaming shows suffered, declined.
He had an interesting take on the why the movies that flopped did.
Yes,
especially the 3 of the recentish ones, right? So with the Marvels, his explanation was that people saw Miss Marvel in it and said, "Oh, I didn't watch the Miss Marvel show. I'm not going to go see that movie."
Correct.
And he said the same thing about the Thunderbolts.
Yep.
And he said the same did not tie it the same way to Brave New World.
Right.
But it was the first one that wasn't Chris Evans, so people were like, "Oh, well, I like Chris Evans is, it's why we keep getting Harrison Ford trotted out at 90 years old to be Indiana Jones, because, well, if it's a new one, then the old audience isn't going to want to see somebody new put on the costume."
So he confirmed the speculation that 2027's Secret Wars will conclude the multiverse saga and provide a reset for the entire MCU, including a brand new cast for the X-Men films. He said there's going to be less TV. They're looking at 3 movies a year and maybe a TV show. I believe that's what he said.
Well, it's 1 to 3 movies a year.
1 to 3 movies a year.
And probably at least 2 shows.
Right.
Because we already have 2 shows next year.
Right.
But look, that doesn't support Disney Plus. So
no,
they have to balance that out, because if there's a stretch of 2 months that there's nothing for me to watch on Disney Plus,
right?
And I got a kid who watches Disney Plus. Actually, she's hooked on Netflix because that's where the Nickelodeon stuff is right now, and lots of Sam and Cat going on at this house. It's a lot of Ariana Grande. God. However, if I don't have a reason to have that service for 3 months at a pop,
why would I keep it?
People are going to cancel it.
Well, that's why they wrap it up with Hulu. That's why they started putting Hulu stuff on Disney Plus. That's why that's why it's there.
But like if I'm one that's in this space and I'm there for Star Wars and Marvel,
basically,
that's really it, right?
Basically.
And not Doctor Who anymore because they screwed that up. So that's if both of those have 2 shows a year, that's 4 shows. So that's maybe 8-9 months, unless they do these stupid release schedules where they drop 3 episodes a week for 2 weeks.
Yep. He said, let me touch on these other things, that the Kang recast, or the canceling the Kang, he reached out to Robert Downey Jr. with this crazy idea of Doctor Doom during Ant-Man 3, when they were making Ant-Man 3, because they realized that Kang wasn't as big a villain as Thanos. And this was, now he's saying this, I don't know if he's just saying this to help save face for Jonathan Majors.
Also when Jonathan Majors got canceled?
It was right around the time Jonathan Majors got canceled or was getting in trouble.
It was when the allegations came out, was around Ant-Man
right
3.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. They're preparing to bring the X-Men into the franchise on a full-time basis with a movie currently in development. Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier is set to direct the X-Men film, but casting has not begun yet. They said Sigurd Urs will serve as the beginning of a new era, contrasting it with Avengers Endgame, which was focused on endings. He said that the X-Men movie will focus on young versions of key mutants, allowing audiences to experience their journeys from the beginning, which I think is a good idea. I really do hope they wipe the slate clean, and all of the X-Men characters that you're bringing in now for this movie, like this Secret Wars and Doomsday, like end them there. Like, they were great.
I think
had our run.
I think he said that. He's some of the other stuff they're not going to get rid of, like some of the actresses they're going to keep.
Right.